welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Perlinda and this is The Perspective. I recently had to give up dairy for the sake of my child and for her well-being, and that was tough because I love everything dairy, like yogurt, cheese, ice cream, a little bit of extra cheese, milk. I do really enjoy my dairy products, but I had to give it up because it was making my child sick and it was also making me sick. But the benefit of it is that girl has a natural glow. I don't need to work hard for the glow. So clearly dairy doesn't treat me well, but I've always known that it's just sometimes you'd rather live in the denial and live with the things that are hurting your body rather than giving it up. But then when it had to come to a point where it was hurting my baby, I was almost like, not do anything to harm my baby, which is weird because it's like a person would think that I would have the same feeling about my own well-being. I wouldn't do anything that will hurt my body. But even though I knew that dairy wasn't good for me, I think I found out in 2017-18, I was like, oh, it doesn't have too detrimental of side effects. I do not get cramps. It's just, I can see it on my skin. I can feel it when I used to run because it's a little bit more heavier than what the alternative milks are. And I actually thought about it. I was like, we do that a lot. So in life, we would know that something is not good for us, whether it's a relationship, maybe a friendship that you have with somebody, whether it is what you eat or what you drink or the people that you find yourself surrounded by. But yet we tend to want to stay in that space because we are so comfortable with those relations. So why is it that allow things to remain in our lives that we know that are not healthy for us? Is it another way of us saying that we are self-sabotaging? Or is it another way of us telling ourselves that we do not deem ourselves important enough to give up that thing? I mean, the moment the doctor said to me that I needed to give up dairy, look, I wrestled like Paul wrestled with God that God should bless him before he lets go. But I also got home and I told my husband that, look, we need to leave dairy. Well, I need to leave dairy, but if I need to leave dairy, he needs to also leave dairy. It's like a moral support thing, always cheering each other on. I explained to him the reasons why we needed to leave dairy, and I cook with a lot of milk and cheese, and I make creams and everything, and to not be able to have dairy, it was tough, man. But week one went by. A girl was having craving. It wasn't necessarily withdrawal symptoms. It was just like, when you're told not to have something, that's when you want it the most, because it's also very easily accessible because we buy stuff in bulk in our house. So in terms of like your cheeses, your milk, your ice cream, all of those things. So when all of a sudden I couldn't have it, it was like, I had to then sit down with myself and reorganize the way I cook, the way that I am fashioned to want to do things. And also we have cake every weekend in this house. It's just a little tradition that I started shortly after we got married, because I was like, I want our kids to know that, firstly, they shouldn't lack anything. They're not going to lack anything. Secondly, that every Saturday they're going to be able to indulge in a piece of cake, so that it's not a thing of during the week they have sweet tooth and they want to eat junk and whatnot. So during the week we eat all clean. There's no like sweet or anything like that. But on a Saturday they can have like a slice of cake with tea if they want. Yeah, quite interesting. I was willing to give up dairy because it was harmful to my baby, and I've known that it is harmful to my body to an extent, but when it would have been a thing of me and it being harmful and detrimental to me, I would have most probably thought twice. Why is it that we would rather self-sabotage ourselves, but when it is something that has something to do with people that we love, we give it up at a heartbeat? It's like being in a relationship. Like, my husband doesn't like pumps with a passion. So when I started dating him, I obviously had like your all colors of pumps, all colors of me. And then the one day he was not willing to go to the shops with me because I was wearing pumps. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna leave the house with you wearing those horrible things. They're not good for your feet. Your feet cry when you're wearing them because I can only imagine how restricted they are. And he refused. He blatantly refused. And now I do not wear pumps. I've chosen peace over other things. So the things that he does that I'm just like, do you really wanna? And he gives it up. Quite interesting how we're willing to give up stuff for the people we love, but not always willing to give up stuff for ourselves that are not good for us. Hey, we self-sabotage, guys. You're not. We self-sabotage. But if there's anything that you've ever had to give up that you could contest giving it up, or you didn't give it up because you thought that, oh man, you will maybe have it in smaller doses than you used to, yeah, share that with me a bit so that we can talk about these things and formulate a support group for people who have given stuff up. It's never comfortable. I feel like for me it's like fasting. I don't know, fasting, when you begin it, you're like, yo, I can't eat at this time to this time, or I can't have that. And then you're like, oh, but the benefits of it are gonna be so good. And then you start day one, your mouth is like watering with the craving of the things that you normally have. You're ridiculous, huh? Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your world.